About Books. Ben?
Swords About Books. Nate? Another explicit content episode. Content warning up front. Sexual content, sexual violence.
A cord of D's nuts and Dis Dick. The ultimate StarCraft 2 power couple.
Mathematical discussions of spice level. And, as always...
Did you get a rubric going?
I have a theory. I don't have a thing yet. I'll be honest with you, I started coding it up last night. I don't have it ready for the episode yet. But as always, it is brought to you by Arby's, which I've been eating on the mic for every episode of A Quart of Wings and Ruin. As the editor of those episodes, I can tell.
Beef?
Today we're going with the Greek hero.
Oh, okay. I thought you were...
No, this is just I've gone to Arby's. We've recorded out of sequence, and it's just Shy's been on an Arby's kick, and I've gotten Arby's every time we record one of these. So,
okay, well, that's a choice.
They have the meats.
Arby's, you're making a mistake.
Hey, Arby's is fine. They're okay, as long as you don't get any other like signature sandwiches.
They're okay as long as you don't get the thing that makes them who they are.
Yeah, avoid the roast beef.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Speaking of avoiding the beef, we finally get to talk about the more. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh.
We hinted at last episode, so I hope you're all waiting for it.
We did. If that was a hint, then
the grand reveal.
Yeah. All right, Nate.
Part 3.
Yep.
We've got to go to Grayson's estate, but this is the guy who is going to marry Elaine. We've got to show up there, put a glamour on to make us look human. And then we got to beg him to let refugees come into his compound that is designed to kill fairies, because he's got like all the ash wood and that's it, I think.
I really hated the name Grayson, by the way. I was just like, oh, was Braden or Jace unavailable? What's this Gen Alpha feudal lord doing here?
Was that his first name or his last name?
He's got broccoli hair. He's mean to women.
He's got broccoli hair. Is that what it's called?
I don't know what it's called. Shy, what's the broccoli haircut called?
I don't know.
But if I said broccoli haircut, you would... Yeah, okay.
I know exactly what you're talking about, too.
That's what the haircuts are called when I was asking about ideas.
What the hell? Nolan is the father, and the son is also there.
There's this one kid who goes to Sheets
at lunch his name?
At the same time when I go to Sheets.
I think that's just his name, Ben. I think his full name is Grayson.
Yeah, so I stand by what I said. He's got a broccoli haircut. He listens to a bunch of alpha male podcasts. And he's got a lot of racially charged opinions.
And he's as alpha male as those people. Yeah.
This is Grayson.
Oh, yeah. I've never met a Grayson I like.
No, every Grayson sucks.
Yeah, so they go there, and they have a conversation. And they're like, look, we came here for your help. Rhysand here could just kill you all. We think ash arrows are going to do anything? I mean, they would hurt him and probably kill him, but, like, he can get you first. I don't know how humans are able to even fight Fae. Like, yeah, you got ash, but, like, I can blow you up from orbit. So, we're kind of not on the same power scale here, buddy.
Elaine is in disguise.
Yeah.
As a human.
She's in disguise as herself as a human, yeah.
But they see through it immediately.
Yeah, because, oh my god, they were tipped off by Jurian, the human general, who was once an eyeball in Amarantha's ring, and then was resurrected in the last book to be a human general. Even though he fought against Hybern, I thought that was a weird choice by Hybern to resurrect Jurian of all people, but Hybern thought that Jurian was crazy and would serve him as a crazy person, but Jurian is secretly not crazy.
Well, it turns out Hybern when you elect a crazy person because you don't care anymore, and sometimes you get what you get.
Yeah.
But the weird
Kind of
thing,
on you.
the weird thing for me was, so Jurian is telling these people like, "Hey, you should work with this guy Reese. This is our best shot at like fighting him off." And yet they're still really mean to Elaine.
Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah,
huge assholes.
we'll take your army. We don't need your magic. We've got big, strong walls." And Feyre's like, can we just take it as a given that I could destroy your walls without destroying your walls? Because like I don't want to destroy your walls. It seems like they took a long time to build, for you. But
I can attack your mind. I don't even have to destroy your walls. I can just kill you through them.
also, like, half of these people can fly, and the other half can teleport.
Yeah.
Walls are...
Yeah, it's like if I had a magic bullet that could kill Vegeta, I'm not winning that fight. He's just going to get out of the way and then punch me out of existence.
You're still talking about the Ash.
Right? Right? That's all they got, Ben. They've got iron, but we learned in the first book, iron doesn't do shit to the Fae.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want my ring back. My iron ring that I gave you. Give me your ring back. And Elaine's like, and he's like, fuck you. And then Nesta goes and I think kicks him in the dick or something.
I don't think anybody touches him.
No, she hits him.
Does she?
She does
she slaps
hit him.
him.
Yeah, she slaps him. She does that power slap. She hits him with that power slap. He goes down. He crumples. And then I think she just spits on him. You don't deserve her anyway.
No, I'm genuinely confused about what the human armies are meant to do here.
They're meant to temporarily manage aggro by sacrificing themselves, and for the few seconds that they're getting slaughtered, it means a real soldier isn't getting slaughtered.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of goes back to like the world building problem, like the whole battle plan. We're going to tell everybody to come to this place, and this is something we really had to deal with because I guess people were going to ask what happened to all the humans south of the wall, and you wanted to say something. But
yeah, I want to know how the humans have any chance at stopping Fae.
Well, and that's the thing, they don't. And
at least in like Supernatural, they had like wards and glyphs and other bullshit. Demons had weaknesses that humans who knew could exploit, but all the humans can do against the Fae is ash.
As a Tolkien fan, when I tell you that elves are less overpowered compared to humans than Fae, that's really saying something. I feel like this is Tolkien dialed to 11 because it's power fantasy in addition to being a romantic fantasy. But it would make more sense if Feyre and Reese and the High Lords were super powerful, but that the average Fae...
Yeah, how powerful is Alice?
I don't know, because she vanishes.
Yeah, she never comes back, actually.
She moved to the Summer Court, which got slaughtered. And Feyre didn't see her body in any of the piles that she quickly glanced at, and so I guess we're to assume Alice is okay.
Yeah. But also Jurian reveals that Tamlin ran back to the Spring Court and told Hybern and betrayed them. So...
a double cross.
Yeah.
Could it be a triple cross?
We're going to find out. And Jurian said, hey, here's where here's where Hybern's moving his army. One of his army. He split his army. I don't know why. Would have actually made sense if maybe Jurian convinced him to split his army, because it doesn't actually make sense for why he did that. But you hit the left flank hard tomorrow, because that's where he's putting all of his like nobles and stuff. Nobles of what on that tiny little shitty island? I don't know, but he's putting them there to get some battle experience. Why do they need it? It's been 500 years. I don't know what experience you're going to get kind of last second, but you know what? Hit the left flank. Just hit the left flank. It'll crumple. You'll get the army. So, and Jurian also decided to trust Feyre because she tried to defend those children of the Blessed in part 1. So, here you go.
Thanks. It's really
all right. Okay, bye.
Your trust has really made a difference.
Yeah. Now you know how to beat one of his armies. One of his 3 armies? He split his army into 3. One was a navy that he used to attack the Summer Court, which you beat. And his other army is marching up through winter for some reason. Go get him. So, now they know where the attack is going to be. And they're like, okay, we're going to pick our location. Here's where we're going to hit them. And we're going to cloak our entire army. It's going to cost a lot of our mana and our stamina. But we're going to do that. They're not going to see us.
Can I tell you, I got really sick of, before every fight, we have to do something that burns all of our mana.
Yeah, they do that a lot.
Every single fight, there's some reason for them to not have overwhelming magical superiority. And it starts to get kind of stupid.
Yeah, you know how in ancient times they would tell their armies to just stay up all night for 3 days straight and then go fight? You know how they did that all the time? They were like, you know what? We're going to perform better if we have sleep deprivation on our side.
I don't want you carrying if you die. That's going to make you weak.
Yeah. Now charge in there. Charge in there, you exhausted idiots. But yeah, they're going to do that a lot. Spoiler alert. So, all right. The Night Court is ready. They're going to attack Hybern's forces. It's only the Night Court, by the way. It's the Nightmare Court and the Dream Court of the Night Court. And they decloak and attack Hybern's forces. So 2 things. Number 1, why are we decloaking before we attack? This isn't Star Trek. We don't need to decloak to fire our photon torpedoes. How about we decloak as our first charge is stabbing through them? That's number 1. But number 2, why are we also descending from the sky to form up a line? Kill them from the air. You know, if they're looking up at a bright sunny day, or I guess it's the Winter Court, so it's a cloudy day or whatever, and suddenly a bunch of stones just fall out of nowhere from the sky, and their army is just getting smashed from above, and then you decloak and you're like, holy shit, the entire enemy army is right above us with air superiority, you won. You don't even need to continue the slaughter. They're going to break ranks and flee. You're killing them with cloaked spaceships, basically.
Well,
cloaked airplanes, Nate, that are people.
The problem here is you live in a world of endless calories. Arby's open late all night. You could get your Jamocha shake. You can get your gyro. You don't need to worry about energy expenditure because Arby's is there for you. But Prithian doesn't enjoy that same privilege.
They've got a Seattle.
Flying costs calories. Cloaking, apparently, costs calories. And, you know...
Well, just for Reese and Feyre.
We can only
because they're the ones cloaking the whole army.
We can only do enough of both to get you there. But then...
Sounds like a bad plan.
You're on your own.
Maybe we should go to a place and then rest and then go the rest of the way. Like we go 80% or 85% of the way.
There's no time.
We settle down, we rest.
They're
Why?
already on. They're already on top of the Winter Court orphanage.
They're going into those Winter Court mountains to do something.
You always want to invade the Winter Court over the mountains in winter.
Yeah, I feel like this is a problem that would just solve itself. Like, all right, yeah, come into the Winter Court.
Keep
Bye.
coming.
Just keep on coming. Yeah, just bring all your army in here, and okay, bye. Good luck freezing to death, idiots.
No, because Reese and Feyre, it's, you know how I love the first person perspective.
Yeah.
So if Feyre doesn't personally see it, it doesn't happen. So Feyre and Reese have to personally be the heroes of every battle, but they're also the guy who drives the troop transport.
Yep.
They have to personally teleport each and every soldier to the battle, and then they have to personally cloak them, and then they have to fight from the front in the thick of it, because that's what makes the book exciting. But I don't know, does Feyre even fight in this battle? I think she just runs away, doesn't she?
I thought I'm were there 2 battles left before the finale, or were there 3? I can't remember, and it doesn't really matter. It does not really matter at all. I'm pretty sure she watches this battle. I'm pretty sure Cassian.
Oh no, there's another one.
There's
yeah, because remember Elaine walks off in the middle of the night, and then they get her and some chick, and then they come back, and then they fight another battle because that lady goes over to the Winter Court, and then because they have fuzzy animals. I love that we had time for that, and then.
Okay, yep, you're right. That Winter Court battle is not yet. There's another battle in which they battle and they hammer that left flank, and then Tarquin takes some prisoners and then he drowns the rest, which sounds like a war crime to drown people who surrendered. I think you just kind of encouraged Hybern, like you just did all the propaganda for him. I think now he can be like, see, look, if you try and surrender, they're just going to kill you anyway. So fight to the last man, which is what happens actually in the final battle. You kind of shot yourself in the foot there, idiot. So yeah, this is where Feyre, she's continuing to learn how to fly this entire time, by the way. It's super important that she learns how to mold her wings using her shape-shifting power that she got from Tamlin, and then she learns that. It's important.
Sometimes she takes a running start, sometimes she jumps off of something. Every time she crashes, it never works, not even once, not even a little. Asriel tells her an inspiring story about a lesbian whose sexuality he didn't respect, but he loved everything else about her. And
oh my god. Okay. So yeah, this is when Feyre is like, well, I don't know if I can fight in a line. And it's like, well, yeah, you first of all, why would you?
Literally nobody wanted you to.
Yeah, that's really dumb to even do that in this world. But even if you did, like, you've got no military training. I don't even know why you're here, other than to cloak and transport our army, I guess.
You know where I put the Gatling gun? Your skill set isn't even suited to a line. It would be a waste to have you have a spear and a shield. And
if I had 200 people who could fly in the medieval age, I would own the planet. You would have no fucking chance against me. I would know where you are at all times. I'd constantly be scouting you. Anyone who tries to forage for food would be getting picked off. If you want a pitched battle, I'm dropping stones from the sky on you. You have no chance of beating me whatsoever. Pay me tribute and I won't come over and drop fire from the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would own the whole world if I had just a small army of dudes who could fly.
That's how God did it back in the day.
So, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's an even better point. I would dress all my dudes who could fly up to look like abominations. So this is where I think they're like, Hybern marched an army up into the Winter Court, and they're like, well, shit, how do we fight him here and also go to the Winter Court? And they're like, well, we can't split our forces. And then they're like, but how about we split our forces? How about we make it look like we stayed here? But in secret, we force march our way all the way into the Winter Court overnight, exhaust ourselves, waste all of our magic cloaking ourselves to get there, and then fight tired in the Winter Court.
Don't forget about the magic we're going to waste creating dummies to make it look like we're still here.
Yes. Absolutely.
That presumably they will not be able to also detect with magic.
Yeah, we can't just make straw men and dress them up. We got to use magic. So yeah, their plan is let's split our forces, but not really. And then let's go attack Hybern in the winter after we've completely exhausted our army and our magic. Let's do it. So they do that. And it turns out Hybern also has magic, which I wrote, even I figured that would happen.
Yeah.
So Hybern marched them into this trap, you see, because he was like, I'm going to break my army up into another additional, I've already lost 2 battles. I'm going to send another contingent up into winter and lure them into a fight and bleed them out, ?
Hybern
if he just had his whole army here, he would have won. He would have just won the war right there.
He plays a strong macro game, but his micro, not so good.
Yeah. He should have gotten some advice from D's Nuts and Dis Dick. Those guys were fantastic 2v2 opponents. We had no chance against them. I still remember that to this day.
Did we win?
We did not. No. Oh, we did not stand a chance against that level of team synergy.
It was an honor. They functioned as just 2 appendages of the same body.
So it turns out Hybern has cloaked his army as well. So what they thought was the army was actually only a fraction of his army. So they're losing this battle. And this time, Febane arrows and clouds have been deployed. They all inoculated themselves with anti-Febane, but that doesn't work against Febane arrows.
Can you tell that Sarah J. Maas is not, like, her strong suit is not war writing?
Yeah, it is definitely not, and they probably should not have gone in that direction.
Yeah, Febane, but then I also have the Febane Bane.
Yeah, no, I think a war was a bad decision.
She had to. What's the point of all these high lords if they don't fight?
That was a bad choice. So Hybern is winning. Lines are not formed. Everyone is exhausted. What's his nuts? God, what is his name? Cassian charges in there. He's going to hold the line. He's going to shore it up. He's going to make sure it doesn't falter, but he's getting overwhelmed, Ben. He flew just directly into being surrounded. Wasn't maybe his... This doesn't seem like the kind of guy who's like jaded and disturbed by war. He's flying into the thick of things and picking a fight with literally everyone, but
maybe he is jaded and disturbed by war because he's making bad war choices.
Yeah, maybe.
What's going to save the line? One guy with a sword.
Goddamn right.
He's going to pick up the flag, and he's going to lead the charge, and that's going to inspire the men.
So I like how they're like, I can't believe Hybern is winning, and I'm like, but you already said he had a bigger army than all 7 of you guys, and this is just 2 of you. I think... Yeah, the night court and the summer court right now.
I have no idea. how big Hybern's army is, how big their armies are.
Apparently, it's incredibly powerful. No one can
And
possibly beat Hybern, but we will.
I feel like they also, you've got 200 guys with wings, but he's got 200 snake creatures with wings and a cannon. Presumably, the cauldron could do it. Could alter reality itself. It created reality. I will use it to shoot lasers.
Yeah, that is an interesting choice. And only at close range. He will not blow you up from a continent away, which is what I would do. He'll wait until you get real close, and then he'll zap you. So Feyre's like, oh my god, what do I do? What do I do? Okay. What did I do in the past in these situations when I didn't know what to do? I know. I should find the Suriel again.
Morgan, get down there. They need you down there, Morgan.
I'll be fine. Why are you up here?
I'll be fine. You got to go.
Yeah.
They need you. You're apparently very good at fighting.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. It's never really, I mean, I've been told that, but I haven't ever seen that.
And I will continue to not see that.
Yeah. So then everybody else just has like a button they can push that makes armor come out, like Iron Man, but she goes into a tent and puts on armor. And then she runs down there and she's like, you're sure you're going to be okay up here? Okay. You're not going to run off. You're not going to do anything weird. Definitely not. I would never do that. I would never and have never done that. And she's like, okay. And she runs down there and Feyre just leaves immediately. Nesta's like, oh my God, where are you going? She's like, I'll be back. Nesta's like, he's going to die out there. And she's like, I don't know. I'll be back.
He's a named character. Don't worry.
Yeah. he won't, because if he dies, the line falls. What is the line holding? The middle of nowhere?
Yeah, it's holding their side of the field.
Okay. And the consequences of the line falling would be...
We would have to retreat, I guess.
Further
you could say they would get,
the field.
You could say they would get overwhelmed, but like they can fly. So we just like, let's fly away.
Well, they can't take off. They need a running start. And they can't turn around to take it because then they get stabbed in the wings. Oh, God.
This was very well thought out.
700 pages.
So Elaine uses her precog power or whatever to locate the Suriel, who is near the Weaver.
Yeah, and I do like that. Feyre's like, you're some kind of seer, right? I need you to tell me where the Suriel is. And Elaine's like, I don't know what that is. I don't know how to turn it on and off. And she just shakes her a little bit. And she's like, Elaine, here's a map. Tell me where the Suriel is. She's like, I have no idea how to do that, Feyre. She's like, just try. Act like you do. And she's like, okay, I'll try. But then her eyes roll back in her head and she puts her finger right where the Suriel is. Feyre's like, yep, told you. Magic. Okay, see ya.
Perfect. And she shows up. And Suriel's like, holy shit, that was really weird. I saw your sister's eyes looking at me from across the world. She tells her, like, yeah, you know that spell that you tried in the last book to nullify the cauldron? That would have killed you. And we need more books, Feyre. We need more books, and Nesta isn't ready to take over as the protagonist yet.
Well, interestingly, she's like, the spell would have worked, but it would have killed her. Yeah. She's like, well, it would have killed me. And he's like, yeah, you're trying to depower the magical artifact that is in charge of the world, like that created the world. Like, it's the Ark of the Covenant, Feyre. Like, yeah, he was going to kill you. That's how magic works.
So she can't even see where Hybern's main army is, which is why she came to see the Suriel? Question mark? Why did she leave in the middle of the battle? I thought she needed help from the Suriel. And the Suriel's like, well, the second and penultimate pages of that book is the key to beating Hybern. And she's like, cool. We are getting the shit kicked out of us now, though. And she's like, well,
that makes two of us. Arrow through my throat.
Yeah. And this is when she's like, I knew that this jacket that I got from that priestess was going to be a tracking spell. But I wanted to see you again because you're kind to me. And Feyre doesn't go, why don't you just take off the jacket?
Why don't you duck? You can see everything, right?
So Ianthe, the high priestess, and 2 Hybern soldiers are here. They shot the Suriel, and they're coming for Feyre.
But she's all out of magic, because this is one of those times where they got to be all out of magic.
Yep. And Ianthe had her mind restored. And so Feyre runs into the Weaver's cottage and lures them in. And the Weaver's like, oh, you're back. Oh. And
like how Feyre. Can you imagine being a Pharisee and Ianthe? And she's like, it took them a while to figure out what you did to my mind. And it's like, well, it's a shame while they were in there, they couldn't fix your learning disability, because this is not going to end well for you. But yeah, third time's the charm, I guess.
So then the Weaver is here, and she's like, I met your brother. And also, how about instead of eating me, you eat these people who are about to bust in after me? And Ianthe is like, I'm coming to get you. And they bust in. They're like, we're going to drag you out of here. And Feyre's just like behind the door.
So they're pounding on the door, telling her that whoever is helping her is also going to get killed. And they're just pounding on the door. And then eventually Feyre opens the door. They kind of stumble in. And while they're distracted looking around at like all the human body parts that make up the house, Feyre slips back out the door, slams it and locks it, and then the sound of screaming ensues.
Yeah, thank God she didn't lose all of her strength, because it'd be weird if they just opened the door. And
you got a mana bar, you got a health bar,
yeah.
You got a stamina bar.
Yep, that's how that works. So, yep. Then they're all eaten by the Weaver. They're gone. And the Suriel dies, and Helion, what's his name? Helion is here. Okay.
Oh, and by the way, Feyre, I know I'm an eldritch monster that tears people apart and uses their various body parts to decorate my house.
Oh, hold on.
But I think for you, Feyre,
no, because she makes this deal with Rhysand.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. For you, Reese.
That's why Helion is here. Yeah, so they go back. Helion, I guess, helps her go back, jump back to that battle. And they won. Feyre didn't even need to flee the battle. They won. Cassian is super fucked up. And then my note says, why did they think they could win if this was the main host? It's a good thing it wasn't, actually, because I think they thought this was Hybern's main force, but it was a diversion. And this is okay. Yeah, Feyre went to see the Suriel to be like, where is his army, his main army? We can't keep wasting all of our energy on these diversionary armies that he keeps breaking off from his main army. And I'm like, why not? Actually, it'd be better if he broke his army off and then you just keep attacking smaller armies. There's actually a name for that tactic. Napoleon did it all the time, and he won a whole bunch.
I don't know what, and this is really the main problem. I mean, we can do nerdy little nitpicks about the battle tactics all we want, but the main problem is I don't even know what the goal of this war is for either side. Hybern is
the goal for them is to defeat Hybern. Okay. And Hybern's goal is to restore the world to how it was 500 years ago.
So Hybern's goal is something human slaves, and their goal is something not human slaves. And I don't fully understand the value of creatures with magic.
Defeat in detail. That's the name. Where a smaller force attacks a larger force, but they attack smaller chunks of that larger force. This is actually going really well for them. They've already beaten 3 of Hybern's armies.
I guess the consequence is that Hybern will get to the humans first and he'll massacre them. But I don't know. He's not going to massacre them if he wants them to be slaves. But
And also, he wants all the queens on the continent. They're already on his side, so like he doesn't even need to massacre them.
yeah, well, shouldn't they just be sending him humans? Like, I guess my thing is, he seems to be doing pretty well for himself without human slaves.
Yeah, he's survived on a shitty little island for the last 500 years without any trade or a Seattle of his own.
If you have the artifact that created the universe, do you need manual labor?
Yes, because I want it.
Pourquoi?
Look, it's like, I don't want to say any particular real life parties, but look, it would be bad if we had universal health care, because people lower on the totem pole than me would have access to that, and I need people to be beneath me. I need there to be a separate caste in society that I can look down on and say, at least I'm not them.
Well, I mean, the humans still exist and they still don't have health care.
Yeah, but that's annoying me because I want them to exist and be even sadder than they already are.
I guess. I don't know if I'd go to war for that. Like, I don't know if I'd get stabbed for that.
To have slaves on your shitty little island that seems to be doing fine for the last 500 years without slaves?
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty...
That's fair.
The bar for me to willingly go fight a medieval battle is pretty high.
Yeah.
Embarrassingly high in many respects. And I just don't think we've hit that bar yet.
Well, yeah, Hybern wants slaves and presumably land. You know, if you do have the ancient artifact that created the world, couldn't you just, like, let's make a new world? Or let's, if I want more land, why don't I just make land? Well, do I even need humans? Can I just make golems?
So I was
that never complain or rebel against me?
Implied that the humans come to this world from another world. And that's part of the problem, is that like this world used to be like all Fae, and then all these humans showed up and they started
but before that it was older gods. So you're also kind of the problem.
So I don't know. I guess that's my thing, is like it's that thing I was saying last episode where I was like, there's just infinitely more tension in Feyre going out into the woods in the middle of winter and encountering a big wolf than there is in armies clashing in this book. It's making that classic mistake that every gotta put out a thing a year makes, of like, we just gotta do bigger, more. Like it's hard to write things that people relate to and care about, but it's relatively easy to just go bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And the only way she can make you feel any tension in these battles is to constantly bait you into thinking one of the main characters might die. So Cassian's going to go run into the middle of something, and whether he dies or not is just, there's nothing you could glean from the context of the story. It's just whether or not Sarah J. Maas decides to kill him.
He was fine. He was fine, and Feyre wasn't even needed. Whether or not she ran off to see the Suriel or not, he was fine.
And Rhys is on a boat with the King of Hybern, and whether he survives or not is just kind of entirely dependent on whether Sarah J. Maas decides to kill him or not. There's nothing about the story or the plot or the characters that gives you any clue as to what's going on here. It's just like, oh, it's an illusion. It's not actually him. If it were him, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
But for some reason, he's not there because I didn't want to kill him yet. It's just the only way for me to have tension in this battle is to put Reese in danger or to put Feyre in danger.
Yeah, we're told that Hybern is like he's like a superpower. He's 0 for 4 at the end of this book. At no point did I ever know the relative strengths of these armies either. Like, what is his army made up of? Is it all monsters and Naga and whatnot? Or
I'll do you one better. Absolutely critical. We got to get the Nightbringers. We got to get Kier on our side. We got to do that. We got to put Morgan through hell to get it. We got to make all kinds of promises and treaties. What is a Nightbringer?
I just assumed it was some sort of the name that they gave their fairy army, but that is a good point.
And what do
I
they
don't
do?
know.
Why do we need them?
They bring night. Yeah, no, why again, I just need to know, like, how many soldiers did he give you? What's the gap in soldier count between your two armies?
So I'm going to say...
You're making it seem like Hybern has like a super army, but he keeps losing.
There's no world in which this would satisfy you. She was never going to write...
No.
She's never going to write combat in a way that satisfies you. But
I enjoyed the book for the most part.
Yeah.
No,
I was going to say, I have a lower bar for that, but my problem is I don't even know why it matters to the characters.
Because Hybern's going to enslave or something. He's a bad guy. We need to stop him.
Like, I get why that's a bad thing. And I get why good people...
His general was definitely a much better villain. She enslaved everyone. Yeah, she enslaved everyone, and she was a horrible person, and you saw her being horrible. You saw her torture humans and kill them. You saw her bend everyone to her will, and you see her, and you're like, yeah, she needs to be taken down. We need to stop this person. She's got to be taken out.
And the other thing I don't fully understand is I know why Feyre cares about the humans. I don't know why anybody else cares about the humans.
I also wondered that. As far back as the first book, when Tamlin was like, I fought on the side of the humans. I'm like, okay, but like, why'd you do that?
I mean, there's something to be said for it being the right thing to do. And I get why people...
But why would you say it's the right thing to do? You grew up under a High Lord who thought it was okay to have human slaves. When and why did your opinion change?
I'd put it this way: I've grown up under factory farming, but I still find it cruel, and I would take a certain amount of actions to end it. But then there does come a point where it's like, would I give up literally everything to end factory farming? Am I going to...
Would you go to war to end factory farming?
As I said before, the bar for me to get stabbed is embarrassingly high. So no. Though it is an objective evil, and I know that, I'm no. It's honestly not even enough for me to always buy free-range chicken.
Yeah, I guess I also want to know how the war started then, because I mean, when you think about it, and I might get flack by this, but if I do, kindly eat all the shit. But the Confederates had to fire first.
Well, I think in the case of, in all honesty, in the case of A Court of Thorns and Roses, I think the original war came from all this fairy human interaction spawned a bunch of half-fae.
And then what did we do with them after the war?
They weren't treated well, but there were people with enough power and enough connections on both sides that they could put something together.
Is that headcanon or is that legit? Like,
no, I think that's legit.
Okay.
It would be nice if they'd talked more about that here. Maybe. I think that's from the first book, actually, or the second, maybe the very beginning of the second. They make a big deal out of...
The first book's tone feels so distant now. Yeah.
No, they make a big deal out of Miriam and Drakon being this weird paradise society of fae humans and half fae, and they had all these lofty goals and they're all important and legendary, and then you meet them and they're just kind of like middle-aged married couple of not
Some
much
dudes.
significance. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
So,
that was kind of anticlimactic.
well, here's some drama you can sink your teeth in. Morgan is upset that Feyre told her to go into the battle and didn't trust her enough to tell her she was running away to talk to the Suriel. And Feyre is upset that Morgan has been leading Azriel on for the last 500 years. And, like, why did you fuck Helion in the same, like, as loudly as possible? Like, you know he's into you. Why did you do that? And she's like, fuck you, you wouldn't understand. Fuck you. And then,
To be fair,
like,
that was really uncalled for in the conversation they were having. That really was just like a cheap shot. We're talking about you putting yourself in danger, making me look like I abandoned my best friend's wife to die, and all this stuff. And then you're like, oh, yeah, well, you're not very good at relationships.
bam, got him.
And it's like, fuck you. That doesn't have anything to do with anything. But yeah, we could talk more about that. Feyre eventually.
Nope. Nope, not yet.
Oh,
because
God.
first we gotta go into Hybern's camp. You see, Ben. Because Nesta and the Cauldron are linked, we're gonna use bones and stones, and we're gonna throw them on this map, and that's how we're gonna find the Cauldron. And boom, he's on the western edge. That's where we're gonna go. And someone is like, "We have too few soldiers," and I was like, "Duh." You said you need a whole 7-nation army to go fight him, but okay, yeah, whatever. Yep. I was thinking the exact same thing. And then Varian and Amarin go off to Bone, and then they go to sleep, and they're like, something is wrong. I dreamt about the Cauldron or whatever, and it's singing. And it turns out Elaine was taken because she thought that guy who was really mean to her had come to, like, I actually do love you. Come out of the camp. It's like in Spaceballs when Dark Helmet is pretending to be the king out in the desert, and then he's like, oh, fooled you. That was the Cauldron, Ben.
Well, I don't really know what the Cauldron's trying to do, because the Cauldron doesn't seem to be...
The Cauldron wants its power back so it can give it to human queens, ?
Yeah, I guess. But Elaine doesn't have the Cauldron's power. The Cauldron willingly gave Elaine the power.
Yeah. Well, we need Elaine and Nesta. So this is part 1 of that puzzle. So then Feyre's like, I'm going after Elaine. I know where she is. I'm getting her. And Rhys is like, well, I don't want you to go, but it's your choice, Feyre. And, I stand by your choice, and it's always your choice, and you always get to make the decision about how your body, if you want to get viciously torn apart, it's your body, your choice, Feyre. And she's like, thank you. I'm going to go do this now. But, like, hey, take Azriel with you, because he can be like your shadow. And she's like, all right, I'm going to shapeshift into Ianthe. And then I'm going to infiltrate the camp. So she's doing that. She goes there. She's pretending to be Ianthe. And they're just casually torturing a human to death. And then she finds Jurian, starts flirting with him. And Jurian immediately knows, like, okay, you're not Ianthe. She's like, yeah. So I need your help. I can't leave that human that I never met here to die.
That human that's in the middle of the camp that everybody's looking at.
Yes, I can't leave her here to die.
Well, like, you're going to leave her here to die.
Gonna have to. Yeah. No. You're going to make a distraction.
She's the distraction. She's distracting everybody. What could be more distracting than her getting flayed alive?
We'll figure it out. And then we're going to get her. And then I'm going to get Elaine.
No way in which I get this woman out of here alive. The only way that could happen is if it's done off screen and you don't personally have to solve that problem.
Deal. synchronized watches. So they get Elaine, and then they also get this random girl, and they're like, "We gotta go," and they're running.
I just want to go back one more. Like, if this were D&D and I presented a camp to you like this, and you were like, "I'm going to save that girl," I'd be like, "Okay, do you have another character ready?" Because barring a miracle, no, you're not.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of an ass pull. You know, I figured like you could shoot her from a distance, end her misery.
Well, and again,
but I don't think you're saving her.
I guess again, it's kind of like you said, it's like, well, they just keep winning every battle and everything just, nobody ever dies and nothing ever goes wrong. And it's like, yeah, the first book didn't feel that way. The first book felt like there were things like it got dark.
No, Lucian got fucked up and he was absolutely trashed.
And now it seems like the lesson is that Feyre wasn't saving enough people, not because it's impossible to save everyone all the time and you have to make tough choices as a ruler, but instead that she just wasn't trying hard enough.
Yeah, I mean, she was only a human in that first book.
I think maybe that's why it worked.
I agree, actually. I think becoming High Fae turned this into a power fan. She just became Goku. Lady Goku, where she's going to train her powers to become strongest. So they start running towards a cliff. They're going to have to fly away. She gets shot by an ash arrow, Ben. Oh my god. And then some hounds come after her.
This is the most disadvantageous attempt at flying I've ever had. But
now, the ash arrow doesn't disable her magic, though, right? That's...
it disables her healing, I think, so she can't heal.
Yeah. Yeah.
They also shot her through.
Can you imagine if that arrow had Faebane on it? She'd be fucked.
I think it did. Or
no, because she has to fly away. Yeah. So the hounds are coming for her, and she has to fight them off. But there's too many, and Azriel's getting fucked up too. And then like Tamlin is there, and he saves the day in his bestiality
Triple
form.
Cross. I was an awesome secret triple agent the whole time.
And then he uses the power of wind?
The power of a gentle spring breeze.
Just to blow her off the cliff and get some wind under her wings. And then Tamlin also escapes. He does not get captured or anything. He also flees. So everyone flees. There. Yeah?
That would have made infinitely more sense.
Yeah? Well, he's a named character, Ben. I don't know what to tell you. So then, after all this happens, Azriel's kind of fucked up. But he's still alive, of course. And then Morgan is like, hey, I'm sorry. I'm not into Azriel. And then she's like, wow, why didn't you ever tell him that? And she's like, I'm gay. But no, she's bi, but she prefers women.
So
I'm sorry.
Morgan's sexuality is that she's bi. She's capable of enjoying sex with both men and women, but she has only ever had romantic interest in women. And I'm going to go over her logic. Cause I honestly, I'm puzzling on what Sarah J. Maas was trying to do here. So Azriel Feyre's like, but Azriel's like one of the most perceptive people on the planet. And he obviously knows tons of gay people because this is the first I'm actually ever even hearing that this is a taboo in this world. Everybody else has just casually mentioned being gay like it's no big deal. But I guess it's a taboo in your specific weird family. where
you hate your dad.
Yeah, and I don't know why you care what they think about this, but not anything else. And then she says that part of the reason is she couldn't stand to be made fun of for this. She doesn't care if they call her like a whore or any of that, but she couldn't stand to be made fun of for this because this would be true. And I was like, well, okay, we'll come back to that. That's kind of weak. But
I don't want to shame you, but
I don't want to shame you, but we are discussing how you have sex to send messages. But that's not really the direction I want to go. That's problematic. That's the least of the problems here. So,
right.
The thing I don't get, Morgan, that you're going to have to help me with is you don't want to reject Azriel. I guess because you're afraid of losing his friendship or the dynamic you've crafted so carefully over 500 years of you guys awkwardly not looking at each other. You wouldn't want to lose that because they basically never speak and they never look at each other and everything's super awkward between them all the time. That's the dynamic she doesn't want to lose.
Yeah. Super awesome. Actually, do they ever speak to each other? I can't remember a scene where they actually sat down and talked to each other.
Not in this book.
He's just attacking people who insult her, and then she's like, "Whoa, you're going way too far, buddy." And he's like,
he talks to Reese, Farah, Cassian, and he has surprisingly strong chemistry with Elaine for some reason. Like he has more chemistry with Elaine than Lucian does.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with that. But her logic here, okay, she doesn't want to ruin that dynamic. And so she keeps having sex with guys in the hopes that that will send a clear and unambiguous message to Azriel that she's not interested in him. I guess she thinks if she gets with every guy except him, he'll eventually figure out that she's just not that into him. Now, to her credit, he could probably have figured that out by now.
It's been a real long time.
If it hasn't happened in 500 years, it's not going to happen. Like Haley's Comet comes around more than this. So this is where it got weird for me. Because Farah's like, so Azriel's so perceptive though. Like, hasn't he picked up on the fact that you're gay? And she's like, I think he does. I think he suspects. But I think when I have sex with men, it confuses him and makes him think he has a chance. And that's when I was like, well, then wait. Okay, so
what?
So wait, you have sex with men to send him a message that you're not interested in him. But you think when the real problem is that you're gay and that you don't romantically love men. And so that that's the main reason you can't be with him, or that you're afraid you can't be with him or whatever. And so you have sex with men. I would think if you had sex with women, that would send them. Right. Wait, get a girlfriend, and it solves everything, right? But she's had girlfriends, but she can't be out with them because she's afraid that her family would find out. But until recently, there was a whole city she lived in that they didn't know about. So I don't really know how her family would find out about her relationships necessarily.
Right? They didn't even know the city that she hung out in and the majority of her time.
And then where it kind of broke my brain in half was when they talked specifically about that night with Helion, where Azriel,
I love penis. Woo! I'm having so much fun, guys.
Azriel defended her. Like flew off the handle, totally lost his temper, was really uncomfortable for everybody watching. And at that moment when he's like most showing his dedication to her, she's like, nope, I've got to undermine that. I got to put a stop to that. I'm going to put on a performance.
Yeah, so much fun
of having sex with Helion so that Azriel will know just how much I don't want to get with him. That he could react that way from me, and all it did was make me want to get with some other guy. And she's saying it, and she's like, as I say it, this is in the book. She's like, as I say it, it sounds really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I'm like, that's because it sounds psychotic.
It sounds real. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I want to be really clear here that you're under no obligation whatsoever to reciprocate Azrael's feelings for you. He has got a crush on you. He's hung up on it. He's not giving it up. Ultimately, that is his problem. You're not responsible for his feelings. And at some point, though, you're going to have to just reject him. And if he doesn't want to be your friend anymore, well, then he doesn't want to be your friend anymore. And that's that. I mean, you're just going to have to move on and live your life. But if you want to have sex with Helion, that's also fine. If you just wanted to do that, that would be fine too. You're under no obligation to reward Azrael for defending your honor. I totally get that too. But the fact that your stated purpose for having sex with Helion is to make Azrael feel bad or dislike you or not want to protect you anymore, like that's like 40 chess manipulation on a level that is psychopathic. Like, that's such a weird way to deal with that situation. And I just like, it kind of goes back to, it's such a weird way to deal with that situation that, like, I kind of question what Sarah J. Maas is even trying to do here. Like, I try to, people who listen to words about books are going to laugh at this. I do try not to like psychoanalyze the authors of books too much, but there are moments in stories where this does not naturally come from the world you have written. In the world you have written, everyone is a sexually liberated. Most people are, like, at least at the very least, like, okay with gay relationships. Like, we've
one of your high lords is bi.
Yeah, Helion brought a man to the event where you're having sex with him. Like, and he was openly soliciting a 3-way with you, or a 4-way, I guess, with you, Azrael, and Cassian, and he wasn't joking. And I guess my thing is, like, in the Court of Nightmares is this, like, you guys basically, like, put on a sex show on the throne.
Yeah.
Like, this is not some tent revival church you're at where I guess that's my thing is I cannot help but think that Sarah J. Maas, probably from a good place, wanted to make queer people feel welcome in her world. But she is a straight woman and doesn't maybe feel comfortable writing queer romance. And I would get that, it's just not in her experience, but she tries to include queer couplings in her world so that it could be seen as normal and that people can sort of see themselves in this world and have fun the way that, any straight reader might have. But then she also wants to talk about the difficulty of the coming out experience and having to be in the closet and dealing with that kind of complex thing, which I'm sure queer people deal with all the time, where it's like somebody of the opposite gender has a crush on them and they just don't know why. Like, we seem perfect for each other. Like, we'd be such a good couple. Why can't this work? Tell me, at least tell me why it won't work. And you're like, oh, well, in order to tell you why it wouldn't work, I'd have to reveal something deeply personal that I've never told anyone. And like, I don't know. It just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit in this world. You went out of your way to undermine the very plot thread.
You're also 536 years old.
Yeah.
At what point are you like, I don't care anymore?
Well, and she dated a human queen.
Yeah.
Andromache, wife of Hector from the Iliad.
Good.
Title character of the play, Andromache. And that relationship ended badly, I guess, because it was a big deal for her. It was like her first out lesbian relationship during the war. But then after the war, Andromache, as a queen, needed to carry on her line. And so she got herself a husband and had some kids.
And she didn't die and come back to life as a high fae, so...
No, and unlike every other gay monarch, she didn't just continue to have her relationships outside of wedlock.
Yeah. Yeah, really. I mean, I'm sure the king would be like, at least you're not cheating on me with another man. Like, I know these are all my kids.
I'm sure the king would be like, well, at least I'm king. I like, because it's matrilineal, right? Like,
yeah, you're right. Because these are queens.
Yeah.
Queens rule in this world.
Yeah.
Which would change the gender dynamics a bit, but that isn't.
Yeah, if the power comes from her, then he's just happy to be a part of it. Like,
yeah,
I know it's like how kings cheat on queens in our world. Like,
yeah,
and everybody knows it, and the queen, what's she going to do about it? The power, like the throne, is tied to the.
So this is the opposite, where it's like, all right, well, I'm your queen, so you're just going to deal with this. Look, you've got some kids to continue my line.
Well, it's not like I'm going to
be happy. I'm not going to have you beaten and thrown into the guillotine or whatever.
Well, because the thing is, it's not like, first off, it's not like we're going to tell anyone. No one's ever going to know.
Right.
And if you tell anyone and you do succeed in getting me kicked off the throne, well, buddy, you're going wherever I go.
Yeah, they'll just go to our child.
Yeah.
I'll abdicate the throne, and then you're fucking done.
Yeah. No, I mean, if they even let us do that, because, like, say you bring down this monarchy. Okay. What's your retirement plan there? When they confiscate our estates? I don't know. That's why I said, like, it seems like a nerdy gripe that I'm getting into, like, all the political power dynamics and stuff, but it's one of those, you don't notice it
through.
You don't notice it, but your brain does. Like, you're reading this and it might just feel a little off because your brain is kind of passively absorbing all of these details about the world. And then when Morgan out of nowhere has a difficult and begging to be relatable coming out experience, it just feels like an author trying to include something for the it's purely for the audience. It's purely like a fan service moment, I guess. And I don't know. It's just,
it doesn't fit the world. You're right.
It doesn't fit the world, and it makes Morgan.
Why would she?
It makes Morgan look terrible.
Yeah. No, her character has been thoroughly assassinated.
Yeah, like, you took all the sympathy, because Feyre, of course, then shows all the sympathy that a good friend would be expected to show when hearing somebody come out, for the first time.
Thank you for telling me that you were able to come out. You know that we lived in a secret city for the last 500 years. You could have just dated there and no one would report back to your father.
Well, if
Then
Feyre,
that would also nip this whole thing in the bud with Azriel. You could just be like, yeah, I'm into women. Sorry, bro. And then like, what's either he's your friend or he's not your friend. Like, but it's weird that your plan was to have sex with dudes to
convince him you're gay.
convince him you're yeah, like what?
Well, and then the other thing is the way she explains it is also bad because she's like, I've tried to date men, but I never wind up making the romantic connection with them the way I do with women. And her thing is like, I could try to date Azriel, but what if that happens there too? I'd have to break his heart. And after all this time, if I finally dated him, he would feel like he finally got the thing he wanted all these years, and it would be
Yeah, after all this time, it wouldn't work out even if you were straight.
Right.
It's been 500 years. Both of you need to figure your shit out.
Well, and Feyre gives her the right advice. Like, he'd get it. Like he's not gonna be a jerk about it. And
boy, if he's not.
Well, he might not want to talk to you for a while. I don't know.
If it helps, he already doesn't really talk to
That's
you.
kind of my thing. Yeah. Like, he might want some space, I think is what I should say. And not that he's going to, like, punish you by withholding his friendship. But, like, yeah, you're right. You might tell him, and he might be like, oh, wow. That's a lot. I feel like I've wasted a lot of time here. I got a lot of complicated feelings about you not telling me all these years. I really would like some space to process this. And yeah, he might talk to you. He might not talk to you for another 500 years. I don't know how you guys seem to process emotions like very slowly. So
incredibly slowly, yes.
But God, that has to be better than this. And that's the only thing that happens with Morrigan's character this entire book.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
What would have been nice is if this book had ended, like, the book is 700 pages long. Too many of those pages are Feyre accidentally face planting into trees trying to learn how to fly. Too many of those pages are Feyre and Rhys having sex. Way too many of those pages are Feyre and Rhys just flirting. And in the meantime,
you gotta keep the romance alive, Ben.
Well, in the meantime, in this romance book, we have all this, like, juicy drama that we could be exploring. Like, there's no reason Morrigan can't tell Azriel what's going on at the end of this book. There's no reason Lucian and Elaine.
And then what are we going to do for the next book, Ben?
Can't have a moment.
And then what are we going to do for the book after that?
Write her. Think of something. Write her like an author. Think of
Absolutely
ideas.
Not. Absolutely not.
Okay,
and
so she finally, at the end of this book, I'll tell you exactly what you could do. At the end of this book, if you had Morrigan reveal to Azriel that she was gay, he gets his heart broken. He takes it in whatever direction you want to go with that. And then let's say they either remain friends or he decides he wants to not be friends anymore or he wants to take some time or whatever. Next book, you get to deal with him coming to terms with the fact that she doesn't owe him anything. He doesn't get to make her choices for her, and she gets to explore, having a relationship she actually enjoys.
Well, she still never told him, so we're on book 5. I guess the next book is just a novella, but
yeah, nothing's gonna happen in that.
Yeah, if they're calling it the Christmas special.
But yeah, no, none of the other couples, I mean, this is just spoilers. Nesta and Cassian don't really make a move. I guess they kind of confess their love at the end, but like we don't even get like a chaste kiss. Elaine and Lucian are. I feel like they're getting further apart. Yeah, all the side character romances, they just don't move at all.
All right. So I wrote down Hybern has not raised his human armies yet, and I said why? Why would you need them after you win this war here? Whatever. And then Hybern is marching somewhere else for some reason. And then they said Hybern has been so thoroughly insulted by them going into his camp and getting her sister back and then beating his other 3 armies that he's going to attack the human lands. And I wrote, okay. So Amryn, she has the book. And now she knows what page of the book to look at. And she's like, all right, here's the plan. You guys are going to distract Hybern in a battle with a war, right? You're going to go in there, you're going to war and distract him. And then the Feyre sisters.
The Asheron
and Amryn.
sisters.
Yeah, I like my version better. The 3 of them and Amryn, they're going to go after the cauldron. Then I put down, they save a bunch of humans, but they strain themselves too much, ... again. And then I wrote under that, stop straining yourselves. Then she goes to the mirror. You remember the mirror from part 2? She's going to the mirror. And she looks at the mirror, and there's a beast behind her. Oh my god. And she turns around, she stabs it, and had no impact. And then she's like, oh my god, I was the beast all along. And then she got the mirror. That was it. That was it. Sarah J. Maas did not want to write out like a some sort of dream sequence, and that's fair because at this point in the book we didn't want to read one.
Yeah, the mirror essentially shows you yourself. You get it because it's a mirror. And it shows you all the bad things about you. And most people are driven insane by confronting their true selves, but not Feyre for some reason. We also don't see what her true self looks like, what it means to confront your true self
or something. I don't know. Anyway, so now she's got the Carver, and she also has Bryaxis. And then, oh my god, the Weaver is here, Ben. The Weaver decided to join because Rhysand made a deal with the Weaver. Oh my god, we got all these guys. And then the Spring Court is also here, and the Autumn Court, and all the other courts are all here, and there's a human army here for some reason. And that's the Miriam.
No.
Oh wait, no, you're right.
It's not. Yeah,
it's not them yet.
They're a bunch of like angel people flying alongside the human army. The human army is led by the Merchant Prince.
Yeah. Did you ever think that Feyre's dad would amount to anything besides being a bum piece of shit? Because he sure came off as a bum piece of shit in the first book who would let his daughter starve to death because he's a bum piece of shit. But now he's going out there in the world as the Merchant King. And he found the Queen Vassa and got her temporarily uncursed. And also Lucian is here. He just found them on the way. And he found out that the queens were all traitors. And so he rallied a human army. So there's that.
Yeah, we didn't have time to develop that any further.
Yeah, each of these armies shows up as the battle is taking place.
Every time you see something where you're like, wow, seems like there was a really interesting story there. I wish I could have known more about that. I want you to picture Feyre flying face first into a tree, because that's what you did instead.
And then all the Feybane is destroyed, Ben. All of it. It's all destroyed. All the Feybane. It's all gone, Ben. It's all gone. All the Feybane is destroyed.
First off, Feybane, super flammable. All the fire people go in and destroy all the Feybane. Second, no consequence to aerosolizing a bunch of Feybane.
Yeah, my thought is like, why don't you just teleport Feybane bombs into enemy lines, and then you win?
We can only teleport when we're not sleepy. And I just wasn't feel. Ground was really hard last night, and
So the Carver unleashes his godly form, and they're fucking them all up.
his godly form
fucking them
looks
all
like
up.
Reese with a bone sword.
Yeah, and then he explodes, Ben, because the cauldron blows him up. He's dead now. He's super dead. He's not coming back.
But he was always
dead.
really curious about death. So that's a nice ending for him.
Yeah, we did it. We did it. Now you could go figure it out firsthand. You dead son of a bitch, you did it. So the Carver blows up. Nesta saves Cassian from also being exploded by the cauldron. And then horns and ships show up, and this is Miriam's people and her dad. And then Striga, the Weaver, comes upon Hybern, and she's like, "You may bow, as is the custom. I am your death god. I am so far beyond a Fae. What is it that you are doing with your hand?" Because apparently having your neck snapped is how you defeat a god of death.
Well, she's not dead because he snapped. He snapped her neck, but she's not dead. That's not enough to kill her.
Yeah.
But it is enough to paralyze her because her power's been reduced.
The hounds on her.
But having a bunch of dogs tear you apart and eat you is enough to kill.
So Hybern has been as distracted by killing the Weaver, and Feyre is like, "Now's my chance." And Amren's like, "All right, touch the cauldron."
We're both going to touch the cauldron. You first.
Gotcha. And she's like, "I can't believe Amren betrayed us."
You know what I picture Amren looking like? I finally figured it out. Have you ever seen Avant-Garde?
No.
It's a Japanese synchronized dance group, and they all dress the same. Hang on, I'm gonna show you what they look like. And this is how I picture Amren. But like, imagine like the eyes are like all black and demony.
All right. Yep. That's what you picture her looking like.
That's what I picture Amren looking like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good.
I just wanted everybody to know that, so that they can imagine the scene. I'm trying to paint a picture for you, okay?
Meanwhile, Rhysand has turned into a beast, and also Helion too.
I legit forgot they do that.
Yeah, and Helion is fighting a commander. Some guy is fighting Helion.
He was a spell guy, and Helion's like a spell breaker, and so this is it was always going to come down to these two. Unnamed commander versus Helion. The stakes have never been higher. Do you think Helion's going to make it?
So Nesta is going to kill Hybern, and he has Nesta's father for some reason. How does he know who her father is? I don't know. But she fails to kill him, and then Hybern kills her dad. And Cassian's also fucked up. Like, their plan is like, we're going to lure him to us. And she fires a blast at Hybern and expends all of her energy, supposedly. And he's like, "Ha. Yeah, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to talk a lot, too." Is that what you expected Hybern when you heard about him in the first book? You thought of a guy who just talked nonstop and taunted and never shut the fuck up, and then he gets blasted. Oh, my God. But he does not die after getting blasted. And that time she really did use all of her energy.
Nesta's the TN keeping Cell down.
Yeah, you're right. They do some sword play, and he's just taunting her the whole time. And then she blasts him, and then he's like, "You know what? You shouldn't have done that. You're gonna die."
I wasn't gonna die anyway. Shut up, man.
And then I I wrote she offers her soul. I think that Feyre was trying to offer her soul to prevent her sisters from dying, but don't worry, we don't need to do that.
Cauldron didn't want it.
Instead, a black blade goes through Hybern's throat. Elaine got him.
So, yeah, because I forgot to mention, there's a thing before the battle where Asriel takes Truth Teller, or whatever his dagger's name is, that he...
and gives it to Elaine.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm not going to need it. I'm too fucked up, but I will go and fight later.
And everybody's like, I've never seen him give that blade to anyone. Why would he give it to Elaine? I don't know. And Elaine's like, well, I'm not going to stab anyone. I don't even know how to fight. And it's like, oh, you think you're not going to stab someone? You have a named blade, Elaine. Helion's fighting some random guy, doesn't even have a name tag. You've got truth. You're definitely stabbing someone, Elaine.
Elaine, I'm giving you this blade to show Morrigan that I'm not interested in her. I just want her to be aware. Like, she keeps thinking that I'm into her for the last 500 years, and it's really awkward and weird.
Did Elaine pop out of the shadows like he does?
I have no fucking clue. A blade goes through his throat.
Because I thought Elaine was developing powers similar to Asriel's or something. Because Asriel has this weird fondness.
Stepped from behind a rock and is like, surprise!
Asriel has a weird fondness for Elaine. And he bonds with her more than... because he gardens with her, and he talks to her, and he helps her with her weird visions, and he recognizes them for what they are, and they're not mated though. That's Lucian.
No.
So
yeah, he's into someone who hasn't been into him for 500 plus years. So anyway,
he's actually gay too, and he's just hoping that this crush on Morgan will keep anybody from noticing.
I keep looking at her awkwardly because she thinks I'm into her, and I don't know how to tell her I'm not into her.
If we just got married, then nobody would notice, and we could each invite our friends over for sleepovers.
Yeah, I'm willing to be her beard.
Even though a Illyrian would never grow a beard on their chiseled jaw.
Anyway, Amren is disabling the cauldron or something, and Varian is there, and she's like, no, please don't do this. And she's like, I think I love you, whoever you are. And then the cauldron starts trying to explode.
So you don't remember what happened at all. So
I wrote down notes she does a thing, and then Rhysand does a thing, and Rhysand dies.
Okay, yeah. So this is... I'm going to have a word with you about audiobooks.
No, this is on the book. I'm sorry. You kept having... Every time the war was going poorly, a new army showed up, and eventually I was just like, I guess we're just gonna be fine in the end.
So what happened is Feyre is hands on the cauldron. Meanwhile, Amren has been working on something with the cauldron. And what Amren has been working on with the cauldron is a spell that
she blows up the army because the army keeps fighting.
It is a spell. Stop trying to guess ahead because you're not quite right. It's a spell
right enough
that will unleash Amren from her body. The way she escaped the prison was she reduced herself.
Is she weak to having her neck broken?
She's not going to have a neck.
Oh, shit.
Because what's happening is...
shit. Maybe Striga should have thought of that.
Well, the thing is, for these eldritch beings to get out of the prisons, to get out of the places where they've been kept, they need to reduce their power and become somewhat humanoid. They put themselves in fey bodies so that they can move freely. And Amren is going to unleash her true form, and in doing so, she's going to lose the personality that developed in association with this form. She doesn't know.
Oh no! I hope that gets reversed.
She doesn't know if that she's going to remember Varian or any of them. And she tells him don't run. I will kill anything that runs. She jumps into the cauldron, and the true form of Amren, Eldritch Death God or whatever, is released. And she just sweeps across the fields, sweeps across the ocean. She's destroying all of Hybern's soldiers. And she's also burning out as she's doing it for some reason. She's using up all her power and she's going to die in the process. Unclear why being unleashed would make her die in the process if she was more immortal than immortal. Like, I'm not sure why
and I have the power of the world creator behind me.
Yeah, I don't know. So there was obviously some weird tension thing, and Varian's upset, and Farrah's upset.
Damn it! There goes that woman that I've known for some time.
It looks like Amren's going to sacrifice herself, and this is going to be the Boromir. This is the one you got to give to the story to make everything, matter.
No, sorry, that was their dad.
And then their dad, whose name is their dad, and after Amren dissolves entirely, the cauldron breaks into 3 pieces.
Shit.
And
we kind of need that to support the world.
Rhys shows up in the tent and they're talking, and then they all turn around and it's like, oh no, the cauldron, I know it seems silly now because it's literally a cauldron, but that cauldron actually did create this universe, and with it broken, reality is unraveling. So we're going to have to put the cauldron back together.
Thankfully, reality is on a time limit.
But
like, it doesn't all unravel all at the same time.
No, it unravels slowly from the point of the cauldron. It's like how if the sun blows up, you're not going to know for a couple minutes.
Yeah, you've got a solid, I think it's 8 seconds?
No, I think it's like 8 minutes, isn't it?
Is it 8 minutes?
I think it's like 8 light minutes to the sun. Google this.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah, it's 8 light minutes. Yeah. So we'd have a solid 8 minutes to put the sun back together.
Because that's the horrifying thing, is like the universe, like the solar system just ended, but you don't know it yet.
Unless you're right there.
Yeah, it'll get you. Don't worry. So they're...
if it helps, we're going to know real quick and we're going to die real quick. So
Rhys shows up, and that's fortunate because Farrah could put the cauldron back together, but she's all out of power again.
Damn it. I keep using all of our power to cloak and fly and move.
And Rhys is like, don't worry. We can use my power. We're going to do the scene from Ghost, but with a cauldron. I'm going to sit behind you as you shape the cauldron. I'm going to channel my power through you. and she's fixing the cauldron. They're in perfect sync, and she just feels all the love and the warmth. And it's the slow music is playing, and then she fixes the cauldron. And she turns around, and Rhys is fucking dead because he was also out of power.
Oh, no.
He was using his life power to be his magic power. He started taking from his
Yusuke.
He started taking from his health bar to support his mana bar, and you can't do that. And
we need to get Kuwabara in here quick.
And then Farrah, all the High Lords come in, and she's got Rhys on the ground, and she's like, fix him or I kill everyone and then myself. Fix him right now or I kill everyone and then myself. I'm not joking. I'm going to do it. And they're like, we can't fix him, Farrah. And she's like, you're going to put your little scale of power or whatever, you're going to put it in Rhys. You're going to fix him the way you fixed me, or the cauldron will be the least of your problems. I'm going to blow up the world. And so they're like, well, I mean, you make a compelling argument. I guess it's worth at least a try. And they each put a little dabber of their
little dabber
of their Fey juice in it.
They put their finger in his mouth and just rub it around in there.
And then everybody does it. Everybody takes a turn, and the Autumn guy's like, I don't know why I should have to do this. And Farrah's just like, I will rip your throat out through your ass.
I think Morgan Morgan threatens him. He was basically dragged here.
And he's like, I'll do it, but only because I choose to do it.
Yeah.
And then there's Tamlin.
I'm also big on choice. Yeah, and then there's Tamlin.
And Farrah's like, please, Tamlin. And Tamlin's like, oh, man, you're asking a lot of Tamlin. But you know what? Tamlin has reinvented himself as a secret triple agent. You thought I was a bad guy. You thought I was a beast. But it turns out I'm actually a sexy man. And then you thought I was some kind of abusive control freak. And, I mean, I'm like the Sean Connery.
Would you believe it was all an act?
And then you thought I was a traitor. You thought I was weak. But it turns out I was a secret spy. And then you thought I was a double traitor, having traitored you again. But it turns out I was just waiting in the camp for you to rescue that girl. I knew that was going to happen. And when I saw you rescue that girl, I decided to sacrifice myself boldly, but then I saw a way out, so I took it. And now it all comes down to Tamlin again, doesn't it? You know what, Farah? I am the better man. I just want you to be happy. And by happy, I mean probably pretty attracted. The last time, when Reese did this for you, he got you. So I bet, you know what? I'm going to save Reese and then I'm going to get you back. And then he gives Reese a little taste of spring, and Reese pops back up.
He's blowing in his face.
Reese pops back up and he's like, don't worry, guys. Because I'm already a fae and I don't want to deal with that plot line again, I didn't take any of your powers. So you don't have to kill me.
Oh, wait, hold on. So we could just bring whoever we want back. Let's go around the battlefield and just bring all of our forces back to life.
Power.
Damn.
You only get one dabber per year.
Damn it. Yeah, and they've got to have names.
Also,
Helion, I see you're here. I guess you defeated unnamed commander.
Who? Yeah. But actually, guys, and this is headcanon. This is my headcanon. Reese wakes up, realizes he now has the powers of all the courts. Real quick, jumps into their minds, makes them forget that they lost that power. Makes it so they just don't notice that power's gone. That's what I'd do.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
He's like, I'm back. And Farah's like, my only regret is that Amryn had to die to save us all. And Reese is like, have you checked the cauldron? Because as I was crossing over through the pearly gates, and turns out there is a hell, and I am going there. I saw Amryn on the way, and you know what? She was like, I'm not going into that light. I'm going back to Varian. And then she pops out of the cauldron. She's like, Amryn. And everybody claps and freeze frame, and then the credits roll.
Yeah. And we're going to give the cauldron to those one people. It's going to disappear from the world, and they're going to make a new treaty to something with the wall, and going to reset this series back to when it was cool.
Jurian's going to go hang out with the human queen that doesn't suck. I'm unclear why the two mysterious island people still hate Jurian. What did he even do?
No one can process shit. It's been 500 fucking years, guys.
Well, I don't even remember what he did to them.
I guess you can never make the argument of like, well, life's too short to be holding these grudges anymore. I'm getting older and wiser.
But Nate, can you explain to me what the grudge is?
I never fucking knew. I was hoping you knew. I was hoping that you understood what was going on.
I'm Googling.
Because Jurian...
What did Jurian do to those people?
Miriam and Dracon. He was Miriam's former lover before she met and fell in love with Prince Dracon. Jurian later sought to hunt the couple and beg their forgiveness. But what did he do? Sounds like
He murdered Clythia, a high fae
that cannot be
commander or Clythia.
That's Amarantha's sister. I remember that.
He murdered her to gather, and he tricked her into falling in love with him to gather intelligence during the Human Fairy War, and
I don't know what he did to them.
Yeah, I don't know why they're mad at him for this. She's fleeing from the fair.
Why are they mad at Jurian? Let me see. Because of his violent obsession with revenge. But they were like, they wanted to kill him on sight. Like, they were fighting each other on the battlefield.
Well, and then he managed to fight off both of them at the same time, which I also don't understand.
But she is a human, is she not?
No, she's half Fae.
Okay, so she's a half... Okay, all right.
That's why she's still alive after 500 years.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Half Fae, half human. All right. Yeah, ended up falling in love with her. This is the betrayal. Jurian took this transition very personally, viewing it as a massive betrayal. Yeah, but like, why are they mad against? Like, why are they against him?
Yeah, I don't know why they're mad at him. I don't fully understand that. Anyway, you want a rubric?
Yeah, it kind of seems like they would be wary of him coming after them to attack them, which is what he said that like he was doing as his cover story. But
I
don't know.
Think
Care? Oh.
she thought this through. But maybe she did, and I'm wrong. And in that case, if you're feeling tempted to explain it to me, I actually don't care that much. So, I'm willing to grant you that it makes sense if I don't have to hear about why it makes sense. Okay, rubric.
All right, so I'm gonna need to go lower my star rating. I know I can tell you that much. Again, part of this is because I've just been off the Bobaverse and the library thing, so anything put next to that's gonna look better by comparison. But all right, let's do it, Ben. Content and ideas.
3.
3. yeah. There's
a book.
There's not a lot of development. Yeah, you're right. And organization. As I start talking about it, I realize that the pacing maybe has a bit to be desired, man.
Yeah, I 3. I mean,
that's my thought too. Yep.
Yeah, I could almost go down to like a 2.5, but that feels a little harsh. I kind of want to punish it for not developing a bunch of plot points and just purposely putting them off until the next book.
I do. I mean, I almost think I like this book better than the second book, but
I like it about as much. They're entertaining, but they have the potential to be more.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yet not a single named character dies or is ever in any danger whatsoever.
Yeah. It's a big, sexy fantasy romance. She's not here to make you feel bad. She's here to make you feel aroused. So, speaking of, how about that language? How about that sexy language?
3. I think I gave the first book a 4, and I stand by that. I think the first book was the best by far.
Oh yeah,
for the first book, Wabi. Yeah.
No, first book was pretty solid. Best thing I've read by her so far, which is I've read 4 books, but
yeah, I was not a fan of Throne of Glass. Personal preference, Ben.
3, barely.
Generally positive, yeah.
More positive than not positive.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
And recommendation strength, Ben.
It's a 3. I feel
I went with a 4 on that one.
I can understand a 4. Maybe I don't know enough about Romantasy to know if this is like worth it. I mean, if you read the first 2, you kind of have to read this.
That was my thought, actually. If you read the first 2, just you might as well.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm going to read the 4th. So, okay, you know what? For once, you've talked me up. I will go with a 4.
So that's 59 out of 100, Ben.
3 out of 5. You want a preview of my spice scale?
Yeah.
So here's what I'm thinking. There's a score, and the score could theoretically increase to infinity. There's no limit on how debauched we can go. I'm not going to put a limit on human ingenuity. So there's criteria, and I'm modeling it on the scale they use for hurricanes. So you're going to get a score based on like the damage, and
it's an F5 spiciness.
Exactly. So like an F1 is it's little, there's some romance. Like an F2, they're starting to get a little bit of physicality here. Like maybe we're talking like second base. F3, we're doing home run. And then like F4, now we're getting like, oh no, leave some room for Jesus here. Okay. And then like F5, we're starting to get into like a lot of stuff. And then there comes a point where like around F6 or F7, I feel like it's like the hurricane scale where it's like kind of total destruction is the only, like after that, does it really matter what it was? But theoretically, they could continue to get more powerful. So
F13, it stripped the land away.
Well, so there is a point of like total destruction where I'm just like, this is decadence. Like this is
it's just some intense, crazy porn.
Hedonism bot covered in chocolate, cavorting like the Greeks of old. But but yeah, it could theoretically go up and up and up. But once you hit hedonism bot, then it's good. And I will make this because we're going to do the Christmas special.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
That's my thought. I looked at doing a rubric and I was just like, no, because you gotta draw too many lines. We need something open-ended.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you have until December to get that done.
Well, it's a productive use of my time.
Goddamn right.
If you wanna fund that research, you could follow the example of these bold $10 tier patrons. Do you want to kick us off with
Jacob Lansky doing whatever the fuck he wants, motherfucker?
I'm going to go through these really fast this time, guys. Sorry. Jamie the Gravy Man of the If You Want the Gravy blog. John Bierce, author of the Rack, Mage Errant, and More Gods Than Stars. Isekai Sensei Sama of the That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcast. And Shy with a Y, Spooky Shy. What?
Nothing. I was just saying her name.
Okay. Shy, Spooky Shy, Shy with a Y, over on TikTok, and performing with
2-hour recording.
Skits
Holy shit.
at Harrisburg on August 8th.
Get me the fuck out of here, boss. I'm done.